Okay, so next method calculating amounts of earthworks is the borrow pit method. So borrow pit is also known as the unit area method. So in this method, it involves estimating the volume of earth, rock, or other material excavated or filled. Hence, the area is laid out in squares or other simple geometric shapes like triangles, and elevations are determined at all grid intersection points. So in this method, considering an irregular strip of land as shown, so parang i-grid mo siya. So by borrow pit method, then is divided into prisms of square bases. So this is the top view. So square bases meaning equal yung mga sides niya, equally spaced or equally divided yung certain bottom base or base nung area. And then for the isometric view, magiging prism siya. For example, this one here. It's a prism. So if we will zoom in one unit, that's why it is called unit area, because it is divided into different unit squares. So if we will zoom this part here, or one unit, so it is a the solid form is made up of smaller truncated prisms. So this is a truncated prism. So you have a area at the bottom. So they have equal areas but will differ in height. So meron tayong H1, H2, H3, and H4. So that is a truncated prism. Okay. So the volume of each truncated prism is given by the formula. For that single truncated prism, so the volume is area multiplied by the average of its heights. So merong H1 plus H2 plus H3 plus H4 over 4. So that is the volume for a single truncated prism. So for the whole borrow pit, or for that whole volume, the total volume is the sum of the truncated prisms, which is therefore given by the formula V is equals to area over 4. So constant naging constant ito since nandun siya sa lahat ng truncated prism, and summation of H1 plus twice the summation of H2 plus thrice the summation of H3 plus 4 times the summation of H4. So where A is the cross-sectional area of the base of each truncated prism. So referring to this figure, so H1 is the sum of the heights of that is used only once. So those are heights na nagamit ng once lang. That is for H1. And then summation of H2 is the sum of the heights used twice. Summation of H3 is the sum of the heights used thrice, and summation of H4 is the sum of the heights used 4 times. So you shall remember these notations or assignments. So pag 1 lang siya na use na height, or isa lang siya dun sa mga heights, that is H1. Okay? So let's have some example. Okay, so a square piece of land 60 by 60 meters is to be leveled down to 5 meters above elevation 0. So to determine the volume of earthwork to be removed by the borrow pit method, the land is divided into 9 squares whose corners are arranged as follows in the corresponding with the corresponding elevations. So elevations above elevation 0. So find the volume of cut in cubic meter by area, unit method or area basis. So this is the 60 by 60 meter na area. So 60 by 60 and divided into 9 equal squares. So that is 20 by 20 na unit square. So these are the elevations of the points or corners. So for A, meron tayong 29.8 from the 0 elevation. So 29.8, 27.3, 25.2, 28.3, and so on. So the problem here is we will find the volume of cut until the 5 meter na above elevation 0. So this elevation is from the 0 elevation. So for example, the this corner here, that is 29. So say ganito siya. So this is the 29. So yung excavation natin is, this is the 0 elevation. So yung excavation natin is hanggang 5 meters lang. So ito lang yung tatanggalin na part. So meaning the given elevations is magsasubtract tayo ng 5. So yung A natin, so 29.8 minus 5 is 24.8 and so on. So that is to lower the whole land to 5 meter elevation. So meaning ito yung ikakat natin na volume. So area is equals to 20 by 20. So that is 400 meter square. So that is for 1 unit na square. Okay, so summation of H1 is equals to, so H1 is height that are only used once. So there can be that can be more than 1 or pwede din na 0. So in this case, the heights here that are used only once is the 24.8. So that is 24.8 plus 23.3 plus 11.5 plus 16.2. So meaning hindi siya na repeat. So 23.3, I don't know. Here 23.3, that is at D, and then 11.5 at P, and 16.2 at M. So as you can see, hindi siya na-repeat. So there is no other values na na-repeat or isa lang siya nagamit. So that is summation of H1 is equals to 75.8 meters. Now summation of H2 is equals to, so these are heights na dalawang beses siya nagamit. So first is 22.3, so that is at P and also at so 23.3, since for square the first square, the corner here is used twice, that is for the first and second square. So meaning our H2R, this height at these points or corners. So points. So the H1 is usually the corners here, since once lang siya nagamit. So that is only for the squares na corresponding sa kanila. But for H2, meron tayong 22.3 plus 22.2 plus 21.5 plus 18.3 plus 19.2 plus 15.5 plus 13.5 plus 12.8. So, twice siya nagamit kasi, for example, this H here is used by this square and also by this square. So, nakadalawa siya nagamit, and summation of H3 is 0. So, since this is a square base, so usually in a square base, 0 yung H3. And H4 would be this points here, since 16.3 is common to this 4 square. So, that's why 4 beses siya nagamit. So, 19.3 plus 21.9 plus 16.3 plus 17.6. So, that is equals to 75.1, and this is equals to 143.3. Okay, so the volume using Borrow-Pitt method is equals to A over N equals to summation of H1 plus summation of H2 times 2 plus 3 times summation of H3 plus 4 summation of H4. Okay, so substituting the values, so 400 over 4 times H1 is 75.8 plus 2 times 143.3 plus 3 times 0 plus 4 times 75.1. So the volume of the Borrow-Pitt is equals to 66,280 cubic meters. So, madali lang yung Borrow-Pitt. So the figure shows the distribution of 12 spot heights with regular 20 meter spacing covering a rectangular area which is to be graded to form a horizontal plane having an elevation of 10 meters. So this time, yung remaining elevation is 10 meters. So that is from elevation 0. Okay, so question number 1 is calculate the volume of earth to be excavated, and then determine the elevation in which the area is graded to form a horizontal plane if the amount of cut and fill are to be balanced. So, assume no bulking or shrinking of the excavated earth and neglect effects of side slope. So, corner first spot height is 27.76, 28, 28.29, 28.38. So since we will be finding the volume until elevation 10 meters, so magsasubtract na naman tayo ng 10 meters in each elevation. So we will have this new grid. So subtracted with 10 meters lahat. So area 20 by 20, 400 meters square. So H1 is equals to, so this side here, so this is H1, So 17.76 plus 18.38 plus 17.18 plus 17.76. So that is equals to 71.08 meters. And then H2 natin is this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So that is 18.0 plus 18.29 plus 17.52 plus 18.24 plus 17.32 plus 17.63. So that is equals to 107 meters. So H3 is equals to 0. So usually you will encounter H3, for example, if wala itong side na to. So this point or 18.11 would be H3 kasi tatlo yung common square nila, or tatlong square yung may height na 18.11 at this point. Okay, so H4 would be this remaining here. So 17.69 plus 18.11. So that is equals to 35.80. So the volume is equals to area over 4 summation H1 2 times H2 plus 3 times summation of H3 4 times summation of H4. So that is 400 over 4 multiplied by 71.08 plus 2 times 107 plus 0 plus 4 times 35.80. So the volume is equals to 42,828 cubic meters. So that is for number 1. Okay, so for number 2, the height here is the unknown. So the total spot heights from the level elevation 0, magsasubtract tayo ng h. So this is the unknown na height. So in all spot heights, magsasubtract tayo ng h. Okay, so and then magsasummation tayo. We'll find h1. So h1 is this one, these corners. So that is h1. So 27.76 minus h plus 28.38 minus h plus 27.18 minus h, and then plus 27.76 minus h, or h1 is equals to 111.08 minus 4h. So sa h2 naman, h2 is this points here. So para mas madali, summation natin yung whole numbers muna and then bago yung h. So summation of h2 is equals to 167.0 minus 6h, and then h3 is equals to 0, and then h4 is equals to, so that is 27.69 28.11 equals to 55.8 minus 2h. Okay, so that is for summation of h1, h2, h3, and h4. So since the cut and fill are balanced in this problem, the residual volume of excavated earth must be equal to 0. So V is equals to A over N summation of H1 plus 2 summation of H2 plus 3 summation of H3 plus 4 summation of H4. So, since balance yung cut and fill dito, the residual volume is mag-cancel out yung cut and fill. So, that is equal to 0. So, 0 is equals to 20 times 20 over 4 equals multiplied by 127.76 minus H plus 2 times 111.08 minus 4H plus 3 times 0 plus 4 times 55.8 minus 2H. So the only unknown here is the H. So H will be equals to 27.845 meters. Okay, so that's it for the borrow pit method. So references. So that ends our module 8. So I hope you will watch this video and learn how to approximate volumes of earthworks. So thank you for listening and have a good day.